Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Once again, it is Sovereign Saturday. Start building your sovereignty right now. Start building your sovereignty right now. Now, I've been talking about Sovereign Saturday for about a year now, and sovereignty, being a sovereign man, which means just having control over your own life. But there's always a starting point, because let's be real, a lot of men don't have control over their lives. And you know what? That's understandable because of the culture that we live in. But you can start right now building that sovereignty. The first thing is you got to want it. You have to want it. Before you do anything else, you got to want to be sovereign. You got to want to have control over your life. You want control over what you can control, which is yourself, your immediate environment, but also leverage. You want to be able to be in a position to get the things that you want to get. Now, the first thing, like I said, start in your mind, okay? You got to want it. And then when you want it, you got to look at your life, because let's be real, you got to have money in this particular society to have some control. It's going to take some money. It's going to take some money. Now, not necessarily $1 million, though. If you can get that, fine. But what you're going to have to do is figure out what you're going to do for a living. How are you going to make your money? How are you going to make your money? Now, you might have to start off working for somebody else. That's cool. First, while you're there, figure out, okay, how can I get the most money out of this particular position while I'm here? What can I learn so I can make more money later on? What can I do? How can I get the most money? And it's like part of that is, getting the job, but then getting the credentials, whether it's getting the education, the skills, the training, whatever. That's part of it. So you want to make money, so you want to do what it takes to make money. That's cool. And let's be clear, you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it to impress anyone, especially not any women, not your family, no one. You're doing it so you can have control over your life. So you gotta have the education. You have to have it, because I'm gonna tell you what, with the education, however it is, whether it's like a college degree, graduate degree, whether it's a certification, whether it's on-the-job training, which is education, or you go into a library and reading up on something and really learning it. All of that's education. So you really have to get that. You really have to get that. Yeah, I had to make sure I had the timer on right. Make sure I give y'all enough time. So you want to start that. So right now, where are you at right now? You might be working, but is it where you want to work? What education can you get? Do you have a dream to do something? Okay, what are you doing to learn that dream? It could be photography. I'll use that for an example. And there's a lot to it. So what are you doing to learn how to be a great photographer? What are you doing? You might say social media. Okay, what are you doing so you would look good on social media and you can get a following? Regardless what it is. It could be a truck driver. Okay, are you getting your CDL license? Whatever the case. And then, you want to get that job, and then you want to look at your environment. One thing about a sovereign man is he has control over his immediate environment. Now, ultimately, that would be owning a house outright or someplace outright. But in the meantime, what are you doing to get your own spot? Are you living in someone's basement? People always joke about that, but if you're living with somebody, regardless who it is, to some extent, you got to deal with their rules. So what are you doing to have your own spot, your own control? Even if you're in a room in somebody's home, do you have control over that? Or at least leverage to the point where you can say, okay, I'm paying them. It's in their best interest not to get rid of me. Hey, you got to think about those things. Where are you living? How are you getting around? What's your credit like? Unfortunately, in this culture, you got to have good credit to do a lot of things. So do you have control over your credit? Which means you have control over your own spending? Because that's leverage too. That's leverage too, to be able to get credit for something. Unfortunately, even some jobs you got to have good credit for. But that's sovereignty if you have a good credit score. Now, I'd seen something, you got to have at least a 620, they say. You want to shoot for like the 700 range. Just shoot for 700 at least. I'm saying at a minimum. If you can get 800, even better. But what does that give you? That gives you sovereignty. Like I know a guy, he had a credit score in the 800s. But he said he had stopped in a car place, you know, just with his son, and they trying to sell him a car. You know, you get a lot. That's sovereignty, though. That gives you leverage, you know, because as I always say, what is sovereignty? Sovereignty, either you control what you can control and have leverage otherwise. And regardless of what it is, start building it right now. Now, don't be one of those people sitting around like, oh, they control me. They have control of my lives. I'm going to tell you something now, because you got a lot of people, they big on some conspiracy, or they feel like some other group have power over them. No, they don't. No one does. Because you always had the power of choice in what you want to do, what you want to follow. You have the power of choice. That's why I say, if you want to build your sovereignty, you got to start with your mindset. And then just build it up to the point when you can do what you want. Like, I'll use myself for an example, because I don't ask anybody to do something I haven't done. For decades, I wanted control over my life. That's what I wanted. I wanted control. Now, people who follow me, I know, okay, I had a stroke, right? I had that stroke. But even during the period I wasn't uploading videos, I had set it up to the point I was still keeping my bills paid. I ain't missed one single bill, including my house payment. I didn't miss it. I ain't missed it at all, because I had built myself up. And then, you know, even, you know, dealing with the doctors and everything, dealing with them on my terms. You want to build yourself up. And really, I'm even on even better terms now, because I say, okay, I still got to build it further, you know? But that's sovereignty. You want control. You want to be able to go where you want to go. But you got to start right now. You got to start. And you know what, don't feel sad. If you're not there at this point, or you lack sovereignty, there's no shame in that. Like I said, this entire culture is built on controlling people. This entire culture, let's be real. You know, there's fences up and everything. Okay, but you want to get to the point you can move according to the way you want to move. You want to move through the world with authority. Even with the fences, you want to get to the point you can just hop the fence, or find an opening in the fence and walk on through. And like I said, that starts with your mindset. And then, you know, in this society, you need money. So you still want to make money. Let me be clear on that, because, you know, people hear my relationship stuff and I talk about men getting women without money. This ain't about getting women. You want to make money for yourself. You want to make money for your particular needs. That's very important. And for your own sovereignty. All right? You want to be in that position. Okay? So anyway, that's all I have for today. I want y'all to start building. I want y'all to build your sovereignty. For those who haven't started, get started right this second. For those who are working on it, keep going. For those who feel like that they're there, hey, you still got to maintain it. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.